Dorchester County has more waterways and marshes than anywhere else in Maryland. I love everything about this area.
The first time we came to this area, I was bringing Eliza back to a place that I had grown up with as a kid. Being out with my parents or with my uncle on boats racing through the chop tank and grabbing crabs and throwing them in the boat and getting home, getting bushels of corn and doing crab boils.
Tim and I bought this house in Dorchester, Maryland about 3 years ago.
The first time we saw the house, we went, this is it. It was exactly what we were looking for.
Tim and I have lived in a number of houses over the years that we've been together. We've, renovated now 2 hotels. We are very big on saving old buildings. We did that with our Inn in the Catskills, Foxbury Mountain House. And there was such satisfaction in finding a building that had once been beautiful and then finding ways to bring it back to what it was. But I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to keep moving. This is a home I want my family to come to. This is where I want to root. There she is.
We're back.
She still needs saving. I like how solid it feels on the land. It's just sitting here. It needs love. It needs to come back, but it's been here this long. This house was built in 1926 by a man called Calvert R. Jones. He was a merchant in the area and had a canning plant. It just feels good. Hey.
Hey.
It's a lucky penny.
Heads up?
Yes, it was heads up.
Perfect.
Is that a good sign?
That makes it lucky.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Tim, I love it.
That's beautiful. You know, the height of the ceilings. I like the grand staircase.
This house is an American four-square craftsman style. An American four-square house traditionally has a center hall with 4 rooms, 2 on each side of the hallway. It has tapered columns, it has kicked eaves on the roof, and it has the exposed rafter tails that I love underneath the roof. You can look from one room to the other in both directions, I think is amazing.
It does flow nice, because the rooms are nice size, not gigantic, but they're nice size and they're proportioned well.
There's nothing pretentious about it.
No.
It's big, but it's not opulent, it's not grand, and I think it needs to stay that way.
Oh, I agree.
It's about craftsmanship.
Yeah.
You know, it was a sea captain who built it.
Right.
He built boats.
Yep.
This house is like a boat. This house has been through enough. The basement flooding, the roof leaking, vandals coming in.
Getting abandoned. It's been neglected. It's time to bring some love back into this house.
I love the simplicity of this. I think it's just so pretty and solid seeming. They didn't overdo it, but it's still detailed enough.
There are just these elegant little details that take it from a box to a grand home.
And in here, I wonder what they use this room for.
This had to be the parlor.
The parlor.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a parlor for them.
Yeah.
Is it a parlor for us?
We can make this room simply a little cozy sitting room. Maybe some of your nature things?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like all the collection.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
My personal love is nature. I can't go outside without finding a bird's nest or picking up a rock or a feather or something and bringing it inside. I know we can't go wrong if we follow the things we love. Is this a dining room?
It's too far away from the kitchen, right?
So is it a living room? What do you want to feel in this room?
Yeah, well, what do we like to do? We play cards sometimes.
Yeah.
We play Scrabble a lot.
You want to
Yeah,
do something. You
yeah,
want to do
I want to have
something.
some.
Okay.
I want to have this a doing something room. Okay, so from the do something room into the
sunroom.
Sunroom,
Obviously,
yeah, of
the
course.
sunroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
view
know.
is pretty.
Yeah. A beautiful view with the dead rise boats. This small wall here, we could do something interesting.
I want to make sure that for us, there are moments in each room that makes you want to be in there, but also that there's something to do, that it has a purpose.
Gives you a memory, gives you a little spark. You'll look at this detail, look at that detail.
Really, those little moments, that's what our lives are, those little day-to-day moments. And design at its best elevates all those little moments. Dining room.
Yeah, most definitely, because the
It makes
kitchen's
sense.
just...
It's also darker, which you
Yeah.
can make nice in a dining room, I think will be good. Got the worst view. I think that is gonna bother me. And
Right.
I don't wanna lose the windows, and we can't knock out the whole back of the house, I'm guessing.
Well, no.
We gave ourselves about 12 weeks
Right.
to do the first phase of this project. My 60th birthday is coming up.
And that's our goal, is to make sure that around your birthday, we are here having a crab boil and really enjoying our lives.
What I'm very excited about in here is you and I have never had in any of our own houses a grand entry moment, and I love it.
You know, mainly what I think you and I should do is come up with a design plan for each room.
Yeah.
Arden is my beautiful daughter, and we started Bird Studio as a design business together, working with clients about 2 years ago. There's no designer that I would hire more than Arden. I trust her sense, and she knows what we love. And I feel like possibly more than I would even do for myself, Arden will want my home to be beautiful. I want to feel that this is like the best summer home, getaway, family place where you will come, Matt will come, our grandbabies one day will come.
Already just seeing it all emptied out and has this like cleaned up for us to get going, it feels so much happier and more open already. It feels like it's getting back to where it wants to be. It feels hopeful in a nice way for building something that, you know, from now on will be part of our lives, part of our summers, part of what we do together, how we spend time together.
So let's look in here. This room, the fireplace obviously is going to be the focal point. If you dig out in the garden, there are oyster shells that come up. We eat oysters. The watermen around here are fishing for oysters. My idea is to do a bit of coquillage, the French word for like designing with shells and creating art from shells. But my thought was to embed oyster shells.
I think I made you a picture frame like that in 3rd grade. I'm pretty sure with a similar technique. I'm really excited to see how my mom's idea for the coquillage, I just learned that word, is going to turn out on the fireplace. I like how this pokes out from the wall and you have all your beautiful collection here. And to me, I think if we did something that kind of mirrored that same depth, but on this side, I think that would look really nice. There's a way to do it that would look original to the house and appropriate to balance it out, probably more than the door, actually.
And then the porch outside from the nature room that was original to the house is a disaster. It's rotted and it's dangerous, frankly. Right now, we can't even walk on it, but I'm hoping we can save it. We're going to preserve the original 4-square plan of this house and turn each of the rooms into a perfect space for our family. The room I call the nature room will hold my collection of natural artifacts. Here we'll close up this door and transform it into a storage space for firewood to match the existing built-in cabinet. And I'm going to decorate the wall above the fireplace with oyster shells. Over the doorways, we're going to install transom windows to make every room airier and brighter. Tim's Do Something room will become our game room, which will be wrapped in colorful and graphic wallpaper and will create a painted pattern on the floor. In the sunroom, I'm going to apply lattice and moldings on the walls to evoke garden rooms of the 1920s. The ceiling in the sunroom is the first job to tackle, while Arden and I refine our design plans for the rest of the house.
So we need to re-insulate. We need to put up some beadboard panels, which feels like a good solution to cover over what was there and keep that kind of cottagey classic feel.
This house needed us. When you love old houses the way Tim and I both do, you have to take a risk because you have to be able to see what it could be, not what it is. It had seen some hard times. You know, it had fallen into disrepair. People hadn't lived here for at least 5 years, you know, when we were moving in, much longer, and it would have been in real trouble. We had to come in and right away put a new roof on. We had a bunch of guys on the roof. They're pulling it all off.
I had come down
Tim was
specifically
here.
just to put eyes on it, make sure we're good.
And literally a sudden storm came in, torrential rain. Sure enough, they did not, in fact, get the roof put back on in time. The water poured in from the attic all the way down to the front foyer.
Through the stairs.
Through the stairs.
Through the lights. And the basement now had 4 feet of water. There were literally little crabs, about the size of a silver dollar, swimming in our basement.
We pumped the water out of the basement, and the crabs went back into the underground waterways they came from.
We'll take that more out.
Walt and his team know all about these Eastern Shore homes and how to build for the low-lying coastal conditions here.
Yeah, she's rotted out.
How's it looking, you guys? What are you finding? I'm scared to ask.
Definitely worse than we thought. We have a lot of rot under here. Just crumbles right in your hands. So it's from salt water and the tides. It floods under here. It happens pretty frequently here.
The salt is a real issue, I'm imagining, with the wood.
It will definitely damage your wood a lot. So, you know, it accelerates it.
Is there any way to prevent that when we fix this?
Not particularly. Use treated lumber. Make sure you keep up on maintenance, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tear off all of these deck boards on here, and then these old rotted 2x10s, and replace it with some new 2x10s.
Back in the day, you know, when this house was built, that screen porch, that's where people lived in the summer. Everything happened out there. Once it's demolished, we're completely rebuilding it. We found a photo that shows the original porch that Calvert Jones constructed, and our team is going to match this as closely as possible. I think my fireplace project is really going to bring the whole nature room concept into focus. You know, I've been drying the oyster shells outside. Don't. You're already smirking.
I'm on board with this. I'm excited.
I mean, there is nothing more iconic to this part of the Eastern Shore than oysters.
Maybe crabs.
Okay.
I mean, literally, it's like Riverstone. It's exactly the same
That's it.
thing.
So
it's our Riverstone.
It's our version of Riverstone.
It really
right?
is. And I think you could do that too in terms of how the shapes fit together, like the mason would.
That's it.
Arden and Eliza are doing this together, and I've watched their business develop and their relationship. Arden's a strong-willed person who has her ideas, and Eliza is no slouch either.
Thinking about 8 inches apart.
8 inches.
6 inches?
Big.
So built like that?
I would say 4 is about the max.
That's like, isn't that
No, that's-
6?
That's like 4.
Okay, you're better at measuring. I will bow to that.
Hold up and tell you, I bet it's exactly 4.
Isn't that pretty though?
Yeah.
When Arden and I talk about design, we may not agree at the beginning, but whoever convinces the other one and we end up somewhere, I guarantee that place we end up together through that collaborative process is a better place than either one of us would have gotten to alone. I've been collecting things for this house for 3 years since we bought it, and it's finally time to tap into these pieces to figure out exactly how we're going to use them. Okay, so look at what I have been collecting. I'm hoping that this could go in the front hallway, maybe.
Yeah. And I love this giant demijohn. That's so awesome. With everything that we do, we really have a kind of guiding core set of principles, respecting what's there, and then trying to bring something new to it, making it feel magic. That's certainly how we're going to approach this space as we would anything else. Okay, what is this under here?
This is not gonna be maybe to your taste.
Oh, what is going on?
It's a bar.
Oh,
Do you love
my
it
gosh.
or do you hate it?
I think I love it. Like, I mean, we're towing kitsch, but I think it's on the safe side.
I
It's
was
okay.
like, is it too Liberace?
It's just enough Liberace. What rooms can support something like this?
To me, it's too on the nose for the nature room.
Well, why don't we measure it and then just see what our options
can do
are
with it.
inside the house and then decide what the best spot is?
Those are the transoms that I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere there are 2 more.
I don't know without measuring it, but I think this looks a little bit narrower than what we actually have for the door.
They're close enough. We're gonna figure it out.
Oh, they're actually like a really good size for the doorway.
Those are literally the size of the opening. And then if
they
you
are.
match the trim up above,
The proportions on this are actually really close to proportions of these windows. Almost the exact same, in a way that I think it's gonna feel completely original once we paint everything in. You know, this is an old house, and with that, it has a lot of character, it has a lot of old details to it, and it doesn't make sense to put a bunch of new things in here.
do you want to come down? Are you content?
Let me do one help. We're not trying to challenge what the house is, we're trying to embrace what the house is and go with that and respect that.
I've wanted transoms in every house project we've done, and now finally I get to do it, and that's what this house is supposed to be about. I get my things. So much has happened already, and I'm really excited about where we are. The holes for the transom windows are roughed in, plaster walls and ceilings have been repaired, and we've painted the dining room ceiling. But there's still a ton that we have to do, and we're kind of in the crux of it now. I really want to have people come around my birthday. That's kind of my gift to myself, is to be able to know the house is ready to welcome people. That's nice.
That's really nice.
That's good.
That's really good.
Ooh. This is the make or break at time in terms of hitting our deadline, which really matters to me for my own satisfaction and be able to show people what we've made so far.
12, make it half the distance.
Yeah.
The dining room probably has the biggest challenge in the house for us, which is that existing window looking out at a pretty ugly wall.
So these windows, we didn't know what to do with them.
Uh-huh.
Tim and I dropped by the church, you know, that his dad
his
made.
dad's church. Uh-huh.
Tim's father was a pastor, and he built a church locally. Stained glass windows. Let me show you. Look at this.
I see where you're going.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Those are beautiful.
they're so pretty. You can't see through them.
Yeah.
So I think we get stained glass made for there. Do you like that idea?
Yes, of course.
Good.
Gorgeous.
So on that note, I reached out to a stained glass company out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Either that one or that one that has a little bit more blue.
I'm kind of torn. I think I like the more blue.
Good. That's the one I told them to go ahead with.
Okay, you already chose.
I did.
Okay, well, good thing I made the right choice.
I just
then.
knew as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay,
it's
good.
perfect. It's beautiful.
Exactly what I thought. With all the blues, I think you can't go wrong. The sunroom is repaired and painted and finally ready for us to tackle the next phase of the design. This color is amazing. It's what I wanted. It's serene.
Perfect.
It's sunny.
Yeah.
So pretty. I've wanted treillage forever. It's basically trellis or lattice on the walls with decorative molding in between. But I got a quote for purchased trellis for just one wall was $19,000. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna buy panels of lattice, I'm gonna cut it. I think we can do a DIY treillage in here that will look like $1 million.
We've got the center focal piece here, but we're wrapping the entire room with lattice. I'm going to cut the bottom and the tops here. We're going to get those painted and those up. And as we grow in our expertise, we will then get to the trickier parts.
How will it look? I don't really know. Will it work? I don't really know. Worst case, we have a beautiful sunroom with painted walls. Best scenario, I put lattice over those walls and I just take it to a level I've always wanted to try. It's been a while since you've been here,
I know,
right?
I'm excited.
Amazing. I really want to concentrate on thinking about the lighting. The pendant light for me is huge in the hallway because it's the jewelry of the foyer. When you come in, that pendant light sets the tone for the whole house. If it's a crystal chandelier versus something very rustic, that's a whole different vibe you get from the minute you walk in.
So this is like not what we're looking for. Pretty, but I think too glam, right?
Yeah, but the right size.
Right
Like
size.
that's what I'm thinking. Do you like that? Too much.
Yeah. But it is very cool. How about this? Not what you had in mind?
No.
But Mom, it's got the stained glass. It ties in. It's perfect. Ooh. Look at this.
That's good. That's pretty.
I love the little kind of scallopy bases.
Yeah, the base is almost like a seashell.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 by 2 though, which is what we were kind of thinking.
Really like that.
I really like it too.
Okay, good. Okay, yay. That's what we needed.
Today, my priority is getting those light fixtures up with fill. Yeah. I think it's good. We can always shorten it, right?
Yeah, you can always raise it up. Walk underneath it, see how much room you got. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think it's great. I like the spacing. I like the shades. It's hanging really well.
Yeah?
This is the light I've had in the locker forever. It came from Tim's mom.
It's really cool.
It's
I honestly
neat,
love
right?
the glass color.
So I just want to make this look less shiny and new. Yeah, I'm just basically taking dark stain. It's gonna get in the crevices and just do enough to tone down that crazy yellow gold.
It's funny that it's actually almost 100 years old. Like, it's not that new, but it looks too new by comparison for this house.
I think that'll look really good. The game room is the perfect opportunity to use this light fixture that used to belong to Tim's mother.
Wow. The old chain that came with the fixture just broke, and the light fell, and my helper called it. I can't believe he called it. I would just get a new chain to be safe because we don't want that happening again.
In every part of the house, we're looking for ways to add texture and life back into it. And the staircase in the foyer is a perfect canvas for this. Roman clay is one of our favorite materials that we come back to over and over again on every project. Just adds this really beautiful, natural earthiness that moves, that feels alive.
And what it's going to do is not only color the wall, but I don't know if you can see yet, but you're going to get highlights. So that light catches the walls at different times of the day, and the entire place has movement and life. And that's kind of what we're trying to achieve when we do this. As it's drying, we're going to get a little modeling effect, and that's really kind of what the idea is.
I've never done coquillage before, so the fireplace project in the nature room is a bit of an experiment. I think I've got about 30 minutes until this starts to dry. I'm sort of terrified. My heart is pounding, to be honest. And my plan is to do it like you would if you were setting a tile into mortar. And then I think like, maybe, I don't think that's gonna hold. I can feel it's not gonna hold. Nope. Well, all right. I hope Arden likes this. It could look janky, and I don't want it to look, you know, too crafty. I gotta, yeah. I really want to pay homage to that waterman aspect that is so important in this whole Dorchester County area. It's funny to think of the original owner of the house, who was a sea captain, an oysterman, a waterman in general, crabbing all the time. What he would think of coming home and seeing the oyster shells all over the fireplace. He'd either love it or hate it, I think. I hope he would love it. So far, so good. Life on the water and shipbuilding would have completely informed the way our house was built and designed. We need that kind of inspiration, so we're sailing out onto Chesapeake Bay to see the area from that perspective.
Well, welcome.
Hi.
Step up onto the boat, and then there's a big step
Thank
over
you.
and 2 steps down.
Morning, Captain.
Hello, hello.
This is fun.
So I hear you have a house that dates to 1926.
We do. So we bought a house that was built by a ship captain, and then the owner before us, who lived in the house for 30 years, was a waterman.
Oh. So tell me about rehabbing this house.
It was a shell.
Oh.
There was nothing left of the house. It had been pretty much stripped out.
Huh.
With the humidity and things, all the paint peeled off the walls, and you know, things started to warp a little bit. Walt and the boys are doing a really good job of helping us out where it comes down to the craftsmanship.
Our house used to be the pride of the neighborhood. It was the showpiece.
When I heard 1926, I was really excited because Salina was built in 1926.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was a good year.
It was a great year. It's really fascinating to me how water-based Dorchester County is in general. Everything is water-based, and it has been for hundreds of years.
Forever. In the mid-19th century, the folks in New York couldn't eat enough oysters. Here in St. Michael's, the number of oysters getting shipped was so intense, they built a railroad from St. Michael's to New York just to ship oysters. Wow. We had 7 packing houses here at one point in time, canneries. You couldn't have done that before the railroad, but with the advent of the railroad, you could pack oysters and send them fresh up to New York. It is their way of life. Get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and get out on the water. Working on the water is hard.
Yeah.
It's a tough life.
Yeah.
But all the people that I've ever met that work the water, they love it. It's passion for them.
That's
and you catch crabs in the summer and you catch oysters in the winter.
To actually be out on the water and talk to you about the history and be in a boat that was built at the exact same time as the house, it's really special. We're about 10 weeks into the reno, and it's been a sprint the whole way. The porch is being completely rebuilt.
It's going to be 18 inches.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's feeling pretty good.
The floors have been refinished, and they're getting painted. feels amazing to be at this stage of the project. There were times I wasn't sure we would ever get here, but it feels fantastic. It feels satisfying, exciting, all the things that I hoped now are coming real. It's like watching a photograph develop.
Nah, I'm gonna have to get that pry bar. Oh, hey, how are you?
Good. Wow.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Amazing. So yeah, tell me, this is all the new joists?
Basically, we just ripped out all the framing that was here up to the house. So now that all the framing and all is in, we're just running the deck board, and then we'll put the screen up, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really thrilled that the stained glass windows are going in. I think they're going to be amazing.
I think this is the bottom.
How's the fit seem? Could it be that it fits that window? Because there's two and two that are the same. Maybe we just need to move the 4 around until we see which one fits which window.
Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, wow. And you know what I love? You can't see through at all, which was the plan, but the light is coming through in the most beautiful way. I love it.
Yeah, it looks good. So the plan is we'll use double-sided tape all the way around and then put that up.
Sure.
You know what's so great? You can't see it from here, but when I'm looking and I see the one side versus the other, it's like the before and after. So good. Goodbye, view, or lack of view.
Yeah.
You fixed it.
You know, noodling through here.
Well, you can just keep going on this.
I'm gonna do one more there. The shell bar is unique and made the cut. It's so fragile. So many of the shells that come off, when we got it, they gave me a little paper bag of broken shells, things that have fallen off. So I've been gluing them on. I have more to glue, but you know, now and then I'll have a glass of wine and I'll glue a shell on or something in my spare time. This is when the rooms get their personality.
Now that we're in the last leg of kind of finishing everything up and bringing it all to life, I tend to take on more of the styling of things.
I like the shopping part, so I get all the bits often.
She goes, here.
And then I'm like, here.
You wanna try this guy up here?
Yeah.
I love how you got to put your signature.
Right? Those were the place cards from your wedding. It's not a client's house. This is for Tim and I, and that feels really special.
That's beautiful. That's a really sweet idea.
I actually like the oysters. They turned out okay.
I love them. They look so beautiful. It's been so satisfying and fun to get to do this, just us for our family and for us designers, because what it means is we kind of get to flex. We get to play and take some big chances that we might not otherwise take.
Next step now is that we're gonna have our friends and family come for a party. But the main thing that I'm excited about is to get Tim here. He was part of some of the work in different stages. He helped us with some of the hands-on work that he's so good at, and then we got rid of him. And so he hasn't been back. He hasn't seen it furnished.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
I think he's gonna love it. After you.
Yeah,
All right,
you first.
me first? All right, here we go. Wow.
When you used to walk into the house, just everything felt sad and forgotten.
It's really good, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Last time I saw, the transoms were just roughed in, and oh my God, the way the molding was custom made to go with that. Oh, it's beautiful. It really is.
I want you to see everything.
Oh, this room looks amazing, guys.
Me.
You did such a good job on this. And I love the color, how it looks like sand.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, right?
Sweet.
I thought of it like an artist signing their work, just like a way to stamp our imprint on this house. This house was about play. This house was not trying to please a client, it was trying to please us. It's reflective of who we are, how we live. It's our personality in this house. That's what I hoped for, and that's what we've done.
Very cool.
I love that with all your collections and specimen, it's like right in the center of the room is the biggest collection.
Yeah.
And then check out the firewood, because you'll be the one making the fire. Look at the cabinet.
Oh, nice. It looks perfect.
Can we go outside?
Yeah, do you
We
want to
got the porch done?
Yeah, the screen porch. The way the screened-in porch looks now is how Calvert R. Jones, who built this house in 1926, that's how he made it. I think if he drove up, he'd be very happy to have an iced tea out there with me.
Almost identical.
As close as we could make it
Yeah.
to the original.
Gorgeous.
I can see you're excited. I can
am.
see in your eyes.
I am.
Having a place for my family on the Eastern Shore, it creates a real connection to my childhood memories.
Oh, it looks great, guys. The wallpaper looks really amazing. My bumper pool table and card table. It really is going to be so much fun to have this.
What do you think of the
I
floor?
like it. I love the floors. I remember when we talked about dry brushing the squares, it came out perfect.
Yay.
And then the little gray ones, I wasn't sure. I think it's beautiful. I love my mom's lamp up there.
It's great to be able to have Tim's mom's old light hanging in this house. It connects again to the past and Tim having grown up here, and that continuity is just so lovely. It's what family is, it's what legacy is, and this is a legacy house.
I can't believe what a good job you guys did on the treillage. It looks amazing.
Remember, what a disaster.
With the
ceiling.
leaks. The ingenuity that you had to use what we could afford to achieve.
Yeah.
The look was great. Gives us such a feel of a conservatory. Let's take a look at the dining room. Hey, you put this unit in here.
You need
Oh, and the
something.
shell bar.
Yeah, to stand up to this.
What do you think?
I'll be honest. I'd originally wanted the shell bar to be out in the screen porch
I was aware of this.
because that's closer to the door.
Oh, that's harsh.
But the colors work so perfectly. It fits that wall like it was made for it.
What don't you see in this room or just outside of this room?
That ugly view. The stained glass looks great. I love the way it fit in, the texture of the glass, the leading is so smart. I could envision some of it, but nothing like what I saw when I first came back in. What Eliza and Arden did with the finishing touches and how to put it together was magnificent.
The past so informs the architecture of this house. Why buy an old house if you don't want to protect it and enhance its beauty? The old is present in everything in these rooms.
It went from being honestly a little scary to feeling like a place that already I can see us starting to put our mark on as a family.
Now is party time, but you have to get all the crabs.
Well, I gotta go see Phil to get the crabs.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, you know our electrician Phil? He's agreed to catch crabs for our party.
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing excellent. How's the crabbing?
We caught some nice crabs. Pretty big ones.
Oh, they're huge.
Got some big crabs.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right.
This afternoon, some friends and family are coming to see the house, which I can't wait to get them in here and show them what we've been up to. Everybody's been asking.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Well, thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Very nice.
So handy.
Mommy dearest, how are you? Good to see you.
Timing is exactly right for us to celebrate not only my birthday, but the house and what the future is, and that's what birthdays are about.
Please.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing! Look at the wallpaper!
So this is the games room.
That's my lamp.
That's your lamp from your office.
Walt, you did such a good job on the floors.
The wallpaper kind of like lets off a hue to the
Yeah.
floor too.
Oh, look! Is this for your wedding? Yeah. I love it! Oh, look at that with a view! I would just live out here.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do.
The guys did such a beautiful job. They found an old historic photo of the house and matched the style.
I mean, it's nice to have screened in porch.
Yeah.
That shell.
Look at that.
Did you buy that as is?
Gosh, it's stunning.
Wow.
Party time!
This is a Smith Island cake that Rebecca made.
Being back on the Eastern Shore is an interesting feeling. The region brings back feelings of freedom and happiness and joy to me. This is our home, and it's going to be a place where friends and family can come and use it and relax, and we can really explore the depths of our hospitality.
We're going to be jammed up.
We really wanted to save the house and bring back the love because, you know, this house was built to be a house full of love and joy, and it is remaining a house full of love and joy with us in this house now and having it back to life.
Fingers crossed. Oh, it's perfect.
So perfect.
There we go. Look.
It's so good.
It's so
Wonderful.
good.
You know, if you search this town on the internet, the first thing that comes up is a historical photo of this house. And yet it was sitting empty in disrepair.
Crabs look amazing.
I hope people who live here, this really lovely, kind, friendly place that we're getting to know, that it will make them happy to be able to drive by every day and see that there are lights on and it's, you know, looking friendlier and cared for again. And that feels like an honor to us to be able to respect that and take care of it.
This house has been neglected. It needed saving, and it's got the love now. This is what it needed.